Alright, y'all, so just like the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta tag character, today we're going to be taking a look at Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black and Zamasu's new tag LR and the best teams and setups that they're on. This character, especially as a villain team, has, I would say, less options and less spots that you could actually use them, but the spots that they can be used actually could be pretty interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and look at a couple of different teams that I think that you could just throw them on in case you're getting tired of even using their own team. Of course, their own team will be the first one that we review, and we'll talk about it. But let me know what team you guys are most interested in using when it comes to this Goku Black, and we'll hop right into it. Now, of course, their own team is the Super Bosses category, key 4 and 220% to HP, attack, and defense. Unfortunately, that team is not really too good, but I think there are some options that you are able to use in order to actually clarify. The team isn't good in terms of the options overall that it will have in the future, but right now the characters that you do have available on the team can actually make this extreme class team look very powerful in the most difficult stages of content. Now, the one thing that we do need to keep in mind for the STR Goku Black and Zamasu is that when you're switched into the Goku Black portion of the card, you are restricted to having either a Future Saga category ally on the rotation or a full extreme class category rotation. So depending on how you build this team, you might not be able to run a lot of these super class options, right? Because like, let's say the Tech Count Khalifa is a very good super bosses category character, but they might not really link that well with Goku Black, and them being a super class character can really mix things up. Physical Count Khalifa, depending on what you're doing. Again, if you're running too many superclass characters and you might not have like a lot of Future Saga characters, that could lead to some troubles. I would say for the most part you will stick to extreme class regardless. The one superclass character I actually do like for you guys to use is actually this AGL Jiren. This AGL Jiren in his standby is not only invincible, but he does provide a 2-turn 70% attack buff. So if you kind of have him moving around on the team, he'll actually be looking very nice. And the good thing about S-tier Goku Black is that when you're in the Rose part of the card, this guy is just a slot 1 demon. He sits in slot 1, he doesn't die, he doesn't take a lot of damage, and he even like debuffs on his 12 key super attack if the boss is able to have their attack lowered. So all in all, this guy is a fantastic slot 1 character for this team, and that allows you to run a lot of other characters in a very easier fashion, especially if they have big bad bosses. Again, when it comes to big bad bosses, that is definitely the link that you're going to build around this team. So then when we go into like the extreme class variant of this team, there's the hit characters. I think you can probably run the Dokkan Fest int hit from Golden Week. I actually don't have him, funny enough, but I think that he is a card that you can, a card that you can run on the team. He won't look the best compared to like his own setup, I feel like, but he does have a Ghost Usher on turn 6 and beyond from his transformation. So I think that he could be a nice little option you could throw on the team in case you do need an extra character. Now, you would also need to have another tournament participant's ally. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the int hits his intro skill, yeah, he does want another 2 tournament participants ally or another Universe 6 ally. So again, you would probably run, I think, int hit and another Universe 6 character, maybe someone like, let's say Count Khalifa, right? That would be nice, because I don't think there's enough tournament participants extreme class to really bring that together, unfortunately. So you will have the issue of like really trying to get this team fully together like you would like it to be in terms of like int hit, but you could definitely make things work and make them runnable. Also, sorry about the cord, sometimes if it blacks out. I'm trying, like, it was working normally earlier and now it's just kind of being a little silly. Now, in terms of the options we do have, I think I straight up want to bring up the free-to-play Goku Black team here, because all these Goku Black units right now are very, very good. And I think you could get a really good amount of usage from these free-to-play Goku Black characters. I'm showing mine Goku Black for some reason, but again, all of these free-to-play Goku Blacks are free to farm, of course, like duh. But they're also very good, like really, really good for free-to-play TUR characters, to the point where I think they're better than a lot of the summonable TUR characters that released this year. I mean, like Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta, Tech Blue Kaioken Goku. Like, a lot of these characters are even easy A's. These guys are premium top tier units, unironically. Like, this guy gets 90% dodge. He has, like, what, 5 to 6 mil defense post super by the end of the events. This guy could debuff bosses' attack by 70%. And if the bosses are debuffable, he also gets to, like, a pretty high defensive stat. And Goku Black's multi-turn support, providing like what 50 to 70% support, just like by having some of these clones on the team. Crazy. This Goku Black is really good with guard. STR Goku Black, you know, he is the damage-based version of the character, which in my opinion, leads him to be the worst. But this guy could, I posted a like a little screen recording on Twitter earlier. This guy was doing like what 50, 60 mil attack stats, and he has guaranteed crit. Then his defense, you know, at the end, like in that turn I did, he was at 4 million defense, has 20% reduction. That's not bad. That's pretty good. This character has guard and what, 50% damage reduction. He has 100% defense on his super attack effect for the turn. Like they're all kind of busted for free-to-play characters. It's actually insane how good that they made these free-to-play Goku Blocks. But on top of that, you could probably throw in this Int LR Rose currently. This guy does have a limited time buff. He's really good right now. Keep in mind that once the celebration ends, his limited time buff will of course go away. But I'm sure by the end of the celebration, we'll get a bunch of other Zamasu Goku Black EZAs and things like that. Speaking of that, Super EZA AJ Rose. He's not released at the time of this recording, but Super EZA AJ Rose Goku Black is busted. He could even be slot 1 for you if you really need him to, but he's an invincible support character. He's providing multi-turn crit support, on rotation support. He has guard and up to 70% reduction. This guy is really, really crazy, and he works, of course, fantastically well on the Super Bosses team. He's just like a dumb good EZA. Like, this guy is fantastic for what we would want on the Super Bosses team, right? And then maybe you could go ahead and like replace the STR Goku Black, and maybe you put Int Rose on the team, and you could run a team like this. You could also go ahead and I got rid of the Int clone by accident, did I? I meant to get rid of, I did get rid of the STR one. So like, this is a team build that you could potentially run like this. I think another character you can actually put on this team, Physical Goku Black. He has this domain ability that will give super bosses 10% attack and defense, then an additional 10% attack and defense if they're extreme class. This is huge for the Goku Black clones, for the new Rose, for all these Goku Black characters that we might be getting in terms of EZAs and things like that in the next few weeks. This guy is actually pretty runnable, because again, we want to note this character's active skill does also give an active skill buff of 15% attack and defense to super bosses, then another 10% defense to future saga for 4 turns, right? That is a huge buff that he could provide multi-turn. That plus the Rose domain makes these characters really powerful, like the free-to-play clones. And this physical Rose also does really benefit from that. And the fact that he doesn't have to be like your slot 1 character or anything like that. He could be in slot 3 for all you care, and he's still able to hold his own very well. I think the final character that actually there's 2 more characters we could talk about. This guy, this free-to-play Zamasu Goku, got his Super Extreme Z Awakening. He's also a very nice option for the first few turns. He has 60% damage reduction. If you get his final blow, he has still, by the end of the fight, what, 40% reduction, pretty nice defenses, 59% chance to dodge. Like, he's not a bad character. I'm not gonna say he's anything crazy. He's definitely not like a super overpowered character. Like, honestly, all the Rose Goku Black clones are better than this guy. But this guy is still like a nice little option you could run in case you just need someone. And that's a really good thing about what they did for the Super Bosses team, the celebration. They give us tons of free-to-play options, right? 2 other options I think we could potentially see Infusion Zamasu's EZA. I think, you know, his EZA could actually happen next week potentially. And I'm recording this before then, but this guy's EZA could be very prominent. Then Tech Fusion Zamasu Super EZA could also potentially happen. I think we might be able to see him and In Sword Hope Trunks get their Super EZAs. If that's the case, this guy will also be a very strong, like, potential option on the team. But final character that you could probably run right now, if you really have to, let's say you're down bad, Physical Broly Trio can get guaranteed out for 7 key spheres. They do also support super bosses 10% damage reduction on their 24 key, like when they attack with 24 key, so that's nice. Again, this is more so of a niche potential option here, especially if you're running some super class characters. Because then Goku Black, maybe if you get like a super class character, Broly Trio, and then Goku Black, STR or Goku Black is not going to have a full passive. But at the same time, maybe you could just switch into Zamasu during that turn. And if you get 7 orbs with Broly Trio, you could just put Broly Trio slot 1. And this STR Zamasu will be looking really nice. And the good thing about STR Zamasu is that this guy does keep big bad bosses. So he has pretty much almost the exact same link set as Goku Black. He does get godly power instead of Kamehameha, which, you know, with the Fusion Zamasu characters, that's gonna work better. Like if Int Fusion Zamasu becomes a slot 1 character, you probably would run Int Fusion Zamasu plus the Zamasu himself in slot 2. Because this Zamasu specifically can provide tons of healing. He can do way more damage than the Goku Black side of the card himself. So that's just all really good. But yeah, super bosses, like the Goku Black team is very powerful right now. And, you know, I guess last character I'll mention, if you really need to, you could also run this guy for fun. He's not even bad. He's a stacker. He has reduction in. If you have the Zamasu out, he'll get an extra 10% damage reduction after that STR Zamasu attacks. Like, not bad at all. But again, super bosses is quite a good team, but even just for the free-to-play characters alone, and I'm excited to see some potential EZAs and super EZAs come towards it as well. Now, the next team we want to talk about is the Battle of Fate team led by Goku Frieza. Frieza does lead it by 4 key and 220% HP attack and defense. Now, this is something that maybe will be more useful in shorter content, but also you can build like a Future Saga rotation if you do need to switch into Goku, just so, because Goku is definitely the character you will switch into just because of his defensive prowess. But again, I find it really interesting the ability to run a full extreme class variant of this team. I think could be really cool because, again, whilst we do have a lot of the super class options, Frieza has different passes depending on if you're running a full extreme class team or a full super class team. So again, we have the Rose Goku Black right here. We do want to keep in mind only the fusions of Zamasus are on this team, so like the clone Goku Blacks aren't on this team, and you know, any other Rose Goku Black and Zamasus are also not on this team. But again, I mean, we have options like Tech Cell here, full power Frieza we could actually run here. We do know, you know, a little leak happened for part 2. A new Omega Shenron is on the horizon. If he's also just like extreme class restriction based, then that could be good. I think Infusion Zamasu is definitely gonna get an EZA. And then for the last spot, you could kind of just put an extra filler character. I mean, STR Mega or probably Super EZA. If not, then this could be like LR Mega. Like, imagine a team like this. This is definitely more so of a potential man kind of team. But if we do have a Future Saga category ally in the same turn as the Goku Black, we can actually just get away with some other options. I mean, Demon King Piccolo is another option we could definitely go ahead and run here. I think Super 17 Super EZA could very easily happen too. But like, again, let's assume that, you know, based off the runnable units we have, and let's say that Infusion Zamasu does in fact get an Extreme Z Awakening, and you will run them on rotation together. You could very easily dip into a lot of the super class options here. Now, Goku Black doesn't necessarily blink the best with a lot of super class characters, duh, but I think there are, again, some characters that you can run to really get a good usage out of him. or at least like give him some potential extra links depending on what you're running exactly. But again, it's a very, very vast team with tons of different options and characters. I mean, even like the new Super Saiyan Blue Goku, right? And you ideally will need a Future Saga ally with him just so that you do have it. So we'll see what really happens, but we do definitely need like another Fusion Zamasu to EZA or Super EZA to be completely viable here. Outside of that, I mean, if you are gonna run just a full extreme class team, I mean, we could always do something like this. This could definitely work out as a full extreme class team option. There's definitely some things you could do here, and this will allow you to just use Fusion Zamasu's like active skill that the Zamasu has rather than the actual, you know, holy light grenade of Goku Black plus Zamasu. So I think that this team has a lot of really good potential, but even as it is right now, you could run it and pretty much clear most of the difficult fights in the game, I think, at a pretty easy rate. So again, could be a little fun villain based team if that's something you're interested in. Another team option I do really like as an possibility is the STR Cell team. STR Cell does lead the Worldwide Chaos team, which is, you know, how Goku Black's able to get on here. But he also does lead tournament participants. Now, both of these teams are actually really nice, right? And Goku Black actually does fit the full team because of accelerated battle. The STR Rose part of the card is the reason why this card's on accelerated battle, so that's really cool. And again, this is just another potential villains team you could actually run. Let's say AGL Cell here. We can go ahead and grab Tech Cell. I mean, hey, you want to run as Buhan right there, that's fine too. Rose Goku Black, and then we have all the Goku Black clones available. Physical Rose is another option. You can go ahead and get Int Rose Goku Black in here as well. And again, there's really a lot of different characters you can kind of mix and choose here. This is probably one of the better villain teams in terms of options that are available right now. The only issue I have is like STR Cell as a leader is not necessarily the best, because the friend lead or the other, basically the STR Cell that doesn't revive himself, will not get the additional guard and 15% damage reduction. So it makes definitely worse by a decent margin. But honestly, like, this is a pretty like fun roster of villain characters, and if you are running this guy next to another Future Saga character, you could also just find a way to throw on some of these super class characters, like, you know, maybe Blue Falcon Goku. Maybe we can go ahead and get AGL Jiren. I talked about him earlier. Like, a bunch of different other characters could also work here. But definitely, ideally, you go with a lot of villains. I think just running villain characters is cool, but like a team like this is unironically not bad right now. Like, maybe we can get even like Goku Frieza in here. Okay, my cord is just kind of freaking out whenever this guy gets his EZA, you know, this a Tournament of Power Frieza. And if you lean towards like oh, we can get again Tech Cell in here. Where is this guy? Tech Cell, and then Buhan, like tons of super EZAs available. AGL Rose is on the team too, so like maybe you just throw off Buhan and put AGL Rose there. Maybe you take off Tech Cell and you run another Goku Black option. Like, what if Int Fusions of Zamasu EZAs, like something like this could be really cool. So I think this is a fun team that you could even run right now, even with, like, you know, Int Fapu's kind of around doing his own thing too, right? That could be very funny. But I do think that this team is actually a very competitive villains team that you can use right now as well, so it's pretty cool. Now the last option here is just a Future Saga team, right? I mean, Goku Black doesn't need a full extreme, like a full Future Saga extreme class lineup, right? It doesn't have to be both. If he has another Future Saga character, he gets his passive that includes super class Future Saga characters. It doesn't specify it has to be extreme class. So again, we could run just like a Future Saga team. That could be really fun. Like, again, let's say Super EZA AGL Rose. We run Physical Vegito Blue on the team. We can go ahead and, let's say, get, I don't know, one of the Int Goku Black clones, I guess, could be an option, because they actually will work the same on this team because they just need Future Saga or other clones. Like, so that should be fine, right? Then, I mean, Vegeta Trunks could be an easy A character that we could see. Like, you could probably run a team like this, and like, you'll be good to go. I mean, if anything, you could have Goku Black plus another Goku Black. You could have Vegeta Trunks maybe plus Vegeta Blue, and then you switch over to Vegetas with this guy, and then you have this guy just like floating around providing support. Maybe you could put Aegyo Rose in slot 3, then run like STR Rose plus a potential Easy A into Fusion Zamasu. You could run Vegeta Blue plus Vegeta Trunks, potential Easy A. Then you have the blue Goku's floating, switched into Trunks, so that as Vegeta, he would provide the 80% support to Vegeta Trunks, while it's also doing supremely high damage, right? There's a lot of different options you can throw away for this Future Saga team, and you can mix and match Super Class and Extreme Class here, because the restrictions aren't like, oh, you need a full Super Class Future Saga team. It is just Future Saga for these characters, so that's a really huge thing. But again, I'll probably just end things here. Not much else really to say about like what this character's teams could look like, how they could fit. I really do like this character the more I use them, and you know, you could always tag switch between them depending on the situation, but STR Rose being a slot 1 for villains is definitely just crazy huge. Like, I mean, I talked about the STRSL team earlier, but before, it's like the STRSL team, maybe you're building your rotations and it's like, well, you're missing a second Extreme Class leader. That could be slot 1. Well, now you could have Goku Black as slot 1 in the other rotation, so that the other STR cell that doesn't get his full passive is like safe in slot 3, you know, like as long as he doesn't like receive like a lot of damage by a huge super attack, like, he'd be fine. So pretty cool. But let me know what you guys are thinking. Huge fan of this Goku Black card, dude. Really awesome villains edition, and I'll catch you guys next time.